Welcome to CWTC Community Podcast, supporting and connecting local communities. Come and enjoy a sharing and learning experience. Hello, my name is Sarwar Chishti Saqibi and welcome to our CWTC Community Podcast studio. The segment is called Access to Services to Connect and Support Our Diverse Communities. There are many duties and responsibilities of a councillor, from policy making, carrying out a number of strategies, functions involved in decision making, governance, and identifying needs of the community, etc., for the wards and for the borough as a whole. In our CWTC Community Podcast studio, we have a very hard-working and committed councillor from Chatton Central Ward, who is represented on several committees and as a portfolio holder in Oldham Council, and amongst many other roles to make a positive difference to the borough. Please welcome Councillor Eddie Mose.
Thank you.
Eddie, welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much.
And how are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling fine. It's quite a nice day out there.
It's fresh, isn't it?
And I'm very pleased to be with you today.
Thank you very much for your time to come to our studio today. We're going to be asking a number of discussion points, questions. And before we do that, just to get a bit of a background of your career.
Okay. My working life was spent in the rail industry,
Right.
in engineering. And I spent 38 years doing that.
Wow.
And I really enjoyed it. I'm married with 2 children,
Lovely.
both grown up, and I have a couple of grandchildren now. So, and I've really enjoyed that. Prior to becoming a councillor, I was involved in school governance, and I still am.
Yeah.
I'm a governor at a number of schools in Oldham, Mills Hill Primary, Bluecoat and Radcliffe. And I really do enjoy doing that, and I still do that. And
I'm sure you're keeping very busy with all these commitments.
I do, but I enjoy being busy. And I'm sure my wife enjoys me being out of the house sometimes, so she can get on with her hobbies and things. Yeah,
Wonderful. No. And sometimes, I feel a councillor doesn't have the opportunity to really let the public know what they're up to and what the progress is and what's being put into place for future, etc. It's always about quick meetings and away you go. But if we can get a bit brief details of some of the work that you do as a portfolio holder, for example, the children's social care.
Yeah.
Can you give us a bit more information on that?
Yeah, sure. I can on that. But just like to say, there's a balance. Being a portfolio holder is very important.
Yeah.
Being a ward councillor is very important. Okay. It's getting the balance right. So I'm serving my local community and also serving the borough.
Wonderful.
But as far as the children's social care aspect is concerned, it is very important. And children's social care aims to work with parents and young people in partnership that is based on keeping families together. And ensuring that we get the best outcomes for our children and young people. Yeah. But safeguarding is our number one priority.
Sure.
And sometimes we have to make very difficult decisions.
Sure.
The children have to come into the care of the local authority at times. Yeah. And we don't do that lightly. No. But with safeguarding, we do depend on the local community as well. Yeah. And if people feel there's an issue, they need to contact the services. We have a service within the council called the MASH, Multi-Agency Safeguarding Hub, and referrals to that would be looked at and considered to where they sit within the levels of safeguarding that we have. Good. And people shouldn't be worried about that. They have a duty to ensure that our children and young people are kept safe, and that is absolutely paramount. Our number one priority.
It is a paramount, and it's a society's issue as well to ensure everybody is safe, and definitely. Particularly the young ones who need their support as well. Yeah,
because the young ones, they don't have. Some of them won't have a voice for themselves. No. Yet they're dependent on us as adults.
Of course, and it's our duty to ensure that they are listened to and they are safeguarded in every aspect of the way. And towards the end of our discussion, we will have numbers of services. where
Yes,
people
yeah, I will ensure we get some email addresses and phone numbers.
Lovely. And then other portfolio you hold is on early years. Can you give some information
Early
on that?
years, that's really about, there's two aspects to that. There's health, with the from pre-birth through to 5-year-old. Things like vaccinations, just speaking, weight checks, all these sort of things that go on within the health side of it. And we also have early years education.
Okay.
A lot of the service, some of the services will be delivered from what are known as children's centres throughout the borough.
Okay.
And based there will be health professionals and some specialist workers within the early years field. Early years education and childcare is provided mainly by private organisations with nurseries and childminders, and we also have some nurseries in schools. I've got to stress the importance of getting children into nurseries so they can learn to socialise with their peers, they can improve their speech and language.
Yes.
It has huge benefits, and a lot of people don't take it up. But if you're on low income, you are supported.
Okay.
And again, we can get the details of that are available, and there's people there to help you. And the children's centres are where you will get that advice.
And it's so important, isn't it, to get that early confidence built in to the
Absolutely.
children.
Absolutely.
And socialising and utilising these activities and places are paramount.
We're actually seeing now the impact that COVID has had on our young children, because speech and language is a real concern for us now. We can see it's escalated during the COVID situation. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So take the full benefits of going out and socialising and meeting people and get the young ones involved in activities.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Then the other portfolio is youth services.
Yes, youth services. We provide them in a variety of methods, so working with our partners, such as Madlow. And we also have an internal youth service. We have what we call a detached team who work around the borough in areas that will be identified as hotspots, perhaps because of ASB. Sometimes what people regard as ASB.
What is ASB?
Antisocial behaviour.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. It trips off the tongue, doesn't
Yes.
it? Yeah. And ASB, they see young people congregating and they think that's antisocial behaviour. Sometimes it is. Sometimes they're a nuisance. Sure. But the detached teams will go out and work with them. We also have the youth workers, and we're moving some of the youth workers into our districts now. So we will have delivery of district youth work as well, working with our partners.
I know that youth services particularly have had a great financial impact.
Yeah.
How are we doing in Oldham?
Well, we actually reinvested this year.
Very good.
And we put some money into Madlow that we thought we would have to reduce their budget, but we put that money back in. And we've also invested into our, as I said, the district teams, and that is an investment.
Yeah. Because it's so important, isn't it, for the young people to go to activities and resources, and they have to be supervised. That means an investment.
They do. Yeah. And the youth service always also do is they work with young people in the youth council, the children in care council, and other organisations. The youth council is very active in Oldham. We've got one of the best in the country, in my opinion.
Why not?
And those young people are elected via their schools.
Yes.
And we have a youth mayor.
And they become leaders themselves.
And we have a youth mayor. And every year we carry out a survey of young people, which is called Make Your Mark. Yeah. And we are one of the best in the country for getting the young people to engage in that. We absolutely are. Wonderful. And they will raise issues around health, mental health particular, big issue for young people. Mental health, the town centre. pollution, all things that we'll all hear about in other areas of the council, but they raise them. And
they get involved in.
And they get involved. And they're our future.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're our future.
And you do sort of want to care for the cultural needs of young people as well.
Yes.
And we have a very diverse community in the borough. So in terms of the BAME young people, what's the progress in terms of provisions and support for them?
Well, as I say, the young people, our detached teams will go out into those various areas and work with them and work with the adults in that community as well to provide the best services that we can for those cultural needs. Yeah, you know, and it is. And at certain times of the year, we know that there'll be events going on, Eid, etc. Christmas, bonfire night in the other communities. We always direct our services towards engaging with those young people who'll be engaging in those activities.
Well, as an organisation here, we're working with Oldham College, Sixth Form College and the Job Centre as well to ensure that we provide the skills, the cultural needs, and for them to lead on things, empower them to lead on things as well. And hopefully with your good support, with the Oldham Council support, we can generate lots of good work.
Our youth mayor this year is from the BMA community, and she is a great advocate. I've heard her speak on a number of occasions, you know, and absolutely.
She's a good role model.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
You're also involved in various other committees as well, and some outside as well. And the one I've got on my notes here, Chair of Children Alliance. What is that?
That brings together various partners from health, Voluntary Action Oldham, which I know you're involved in.
I'm a trustee on the Action Board.
Yeah, all these partner agencies together. To ensure that we're delivering absolutely the best services possible for our children and young people.
Wonderful. Member of Health and Wellbeing Board.
Again, that brings partners together. Public health, the NHS, the various organisations within the NHS. We look at what's going on in Oldham with health, the aspects around all aspects of health, and we look at ensuring that we are engaging with communities and with the providers to ensure that the best services are there for our people.
Wonderful. In terms of the mental health, particularly the COVID-19 that we've had, it is on the increase.
Definitely.
And we're all working together to ensure that we bring the level of mental health issues as far as possible. We know that mental health is a massive issue, and mental health impacts on physical health. So if we can get the mental health right, then we will get a lot of other things sorted. But people have got, again, mental health, people don't like to talk about it, and we need to talk about it. Talking therapies, and there's fantastic work going on in Oldham with the voluntary sector, doing lots of great activities, using the parks, using the northern routes, Dovestone, beautiful sites. People just need to get out there and get involved with the community centres, etc. And then you're also on the commissioning board as well. You give out money.
The commissioning board, because we work in partnership with the Health. We will commission a number of services. And that looks at the way we use that money, and it meets fairly regularly. Well, it meets on a basis of probably every 2 months, and we're looking at any money that's being spent, and is it being spent in the right way? Are we getting the best value?
Absolutely. Well, Oldham as a council, as an authority, is a massive work, and good things happening with different partnerships does help to deliver some of the services that the communities need. Excellent. And we did mention that we will provide the contact numbers on the screen.
We'll do that, yes.
After the interview. Where do you hold your surgery?
Currently, we hold our surgeries two a month, normally in Chadderton Central. except for August because of the school closures. But we hold them at Kingfisher School or Mills Hill School on an alternate basis.
Right.
And we were holding them at the Crosley Centre, but we are now moving it to a church on Denton Lane, and that will be advertised shortly when we've just finished off the details around that.
Lovely. And is your usual time?
The usual time on the Kingfisher School and Mills Hill School will be 5 o'clock till 6 on a Friday evening, and once a month. And we will also have what was at the Crosley Centre, which is moving, was 10 while 11 on a Saturday morning.
Lovely. Besides looking after Charlton Ward, you have a duty to look after the whole of borough. Yes. And then we have a big transformation happening in the town centre.
We do. We do.
Massive work going on.
It's massive work. And that portfolio lies with the council leader, Amanda Chatterton. There's lots of information going out. Yeah. We can see the work that's already started. Yeah, yeah. Costa Coffee has moved to the, I think, where Top Man used to be. Yeah. And that work is already underway. And again, we've done that in consultation with our residents.
Sure. Yeah. No, I go on the website, council's website, and there is that engagement involvement, which is very open. And I'm sure there are lots of campaigns and meetings, consultations going on.
Yeah. There is, yeah. And obviously, we also talk to the businesses.
Yes.
Because
important.
They're the ones who are that town centre. But the town centres are changing all over the country. Yes. You know, and we need to get this right.
We need to get it right and go with the times. Yeah. And besides the service for our communities, is how we can get other people coming from other towns. To look at great places we have here. Wonderful. What do you think of our setup here?
I do think it's absolutely brilliant. It's the first time I've visited, and I really am amazed, you know.
Thank you.
And it's great to see an organisation like yours working with our communities, you
Definitely.
know. Yeah.
No, we've been open for about 2.5 months, and I think we've had a great response. Yeah. And we thank you for.
Can I just say, we mentioned the surgeries, and I didn't mention at that time that obviously surgeries is one way of contacting us.
Yes.
But as ward councillors, we are available via email, by phone. If you see me in Asda's, please speak to me.
Wonderful.
I'm always
I
there.
thought you were going to say 24/7.
Well, we are 24/7.
Well, Adi, can I thank you so much. Any last message for our community?
No, just have a fantastic summer. Oh, and if there's people out there who've got school children on free school meals, we have the holiday activity and food programme running at the moment.
Okay.
And that's a fantastic opportunity for young people to engage in activities and get a hot meal. And they are advertised on the website and elsewhere. But I'm sure if you contact your local councillors, wherever you live, then they'll give you some advice on where to go to get these services.
Super. Anyway, thank you so much, Adi, for coming to our studio. It's been great to know some of the great work that you've been doing. And I hope our listeners and viewers have learnt a lot about you and some of the great strategic things you're doing.
And thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Hope to see you next time. Look after yourself and others. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Welcome to CWTC Community Podcast, sporting and connecting local communities. Come and enjoy a sharing and learning experience.